Mark Meirowitz joins me live now from Asbury Park in New Jersey. He's a political analyst and professor at the State University of New York Maritime College. Thanks very much indeed for talking to us today, Mark. So what do you make of this discussion between the two leaders? How significant has it been?
I mean, there's a lot of significant things here. Number one, Biden waited months to speak to President Erdogan. Secondly, Biden apparently told President Erdogan that he plans to use the term Armenian genocide, being the first president that used that term. The term used by even President Trump and Obama was Medz Yeghern, which means a great crime, which of course is a word in another language, so Americans wouldn't even know what it meant because, you know, Americans are not experts on foreign language. It was kind of a euphemism. And so therefore, this is a big development. And then there's sort of ships passing in the night. President Erdogan has his issues, right, as your correspondent just described, and Biden has his points. So Biden, the readout from the U.S. side is we're going to have mutual discussions and we'll meet at the NATO Summit on the side of it. That all sounds very diplomatic, very good. President Erdogan has his issues, including YPG, PYD, and PKK, and that is the big issue for Turkey's point of view, but they don't seem to be, at least in the readouts. Of course, the discussions are what is key. So I think everybody said what they were saying for the public consumption. This is not a private meeting. That's the meeting that counts, in my opinion. So to my view, I think that, you know, the Turkish leadership should not get overexcited about this and should be patient about it. At the same time, understand that the American president is under a lot of domestic pressure right now. 100 members of Congress sent a letter to him about using the term Armenian genocide. So, you know, that's the Democratic Party. Biden, you know, he's listening to his to his party and to his people. And he has to listen to, I'm not saying he did the right thing. I'm just saying that different pressures exist on both sides, if you see my point. So again, the key is going to be the private meetings and not these statements, as disappointing as they may be in terms of where Turkey is sitting right now.
Well, importantly, from these readouts, we've learned that they've agreed to meet and talk again in June. So what do you think will be the key issues that they will discuss then?
I mean, to me, the big issue, the so-called elephant in every room, is the S-400 and Russia's provision of this weaponry to Turkey. Yes, it is true that YPG-PYD issue is one that is not well understood in terms of American elites and American leadership do not understand clearly the connection between YPG, PYD, and the PKK, yet Turkey understands it clearly. And that would be an informational point where I think that would be important for President Erdogan to convey that. But the S-400, to my opinion, remains I would not call it something of a stumbling block or something in between that sits there and needs to be resolved. So I think that, but bottom line, I have to say, is the fact that they're meeting in NATO in June is very good and very important. And so I think if you listen to the atmospherics here, everybody got to say what they wanted to say. And now it remains for that meeting. So I mean, that meeting is going to be about the S-400 in Russia. And on the other side, it's going to be Turkey's issues that it wants to bring forward to the United States. But I think that to be very candid about it, the S-400, it needs to be resolved because it stands in the way of moving forward on. And as far as the issues of Armenia and so forth, you know, the Congress passed the resolution literally on Turkish Republic Day. If you remember this, I think this was in 2019, if I remember, 2019. On that day, the Congress passed, including the Senate, passed resolutions to sanction Turkey and on the Armenian genocide. So this is a very big issue in the Congress. So Biden is reacting to it. I think diplomatically, the other presidents used this euphemism. That was their way of solving it. Biden is solving it his way. Again, all of these things need to be factored in terms of American politics. That's the key, I think.
Mark Meirowitz, it's great to talk to you today. Thanks for joining us.